You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:14-16. Hey everyone, it's JaaackJack and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you guys 4 different heatless hairstyles. So for this first one, we're going to brush our hair back at the top so we don't have any part. I'm going to grab a small section here at the crown of my head like so, and then tie it with one of those tiny little elastics. And once you have that, you can go ahead and kind of adjust the hair at the top, kind of pull it out to give it some texture and height. Because you guys know I don't like when my hairstyles are flat against my head, just not my thing. So now what I'm going to do is take the little ponytail and right above the hair tie, I'm going to create a little hole in the hair like that, and then flip the little tail of our ponytail and flip it through that hole and bring it down like so. I'm going to do a little bit of adjusting here as well, kind of pulling it apart just to give it some texture, not too much. And then I'm going to do the same thing with another section of hair right below that. So I'm going to tie a small section with an elastic, and I'll turn around so I can show you guys this part better. So we have our second small ponytail here. I'm going to do the same thing, create a little pocket at the top and then pull the hair through just like that. So now we have 2 little loop-de-loop little ponytails here. And again, I'm just going to pull out some of the hairs to adjust it, give it some texture. And with the rest of my hair, I'm going to split it in 2, and we're just going to create a simple 3-strand braid. So just do this all the way down to the ends of your hair, and then we'll move on to the next step. Now, once we have our 2 braids, we're going to take them and just twist them together. Maybe a little messy, but I think it all looks good at the end. Plus, if you are new to my channel, I tend to prefer the more messy kind of styles. That's my style here on the channel. So it will be a tad messy, but I'm just going to wrap it around like a little bun and go ahead and secure it with some bobby pins. And that is it for this hairstyle. What do you guys think? Is this funky and weird, or is this kind of a new fun updo? I think it's fun. It adds a lot of texture. And of course, I pull a few hairs out in the front, and that is it for hairstyle number 1. So now let's move on to hairstyle number 2. For this one, we want to brush all of our hair to the side like this. Like we don't even have a part, it's just all going to one side. For this one, I'm going to do a braided like halo crown type thing. I know I shared this kind of hairstyle in the past, but it's been so long, so I thought I'd do an updated one. So we're going to grab a section near the top of our ear like so. I guess technically there is sort of a part there, but it's okay. So now I'm going to Dutch braid, and this can be tricky from this angle, but I'm just telling you guys, you have to keep practicing. The first time you do it, it's going to be bad. The first time you do it, it's going to feel awkward, but just keep practicing it. If you do it like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, you're gonna get it by the end of the week. Like you're gonna get it. So the trick with this, like first you have to learn how to Dutch braid, and I do have a detailed tutorial. I'll leave it linked in the cards for you guys and the description box, so check that one out first. And then you're going to do that method of braiding. And when I'm picking up sections of hair, so like the right side, which is like closest to my face, I'm picking up hair that's framing around that area, and then on the back side, I'm grabbing hair from the back. So I'm not just picking up hair underneath the braid, I'm specifically grabbing hair from different areas, so that way it creates that wraparound look. That was like a really weird way of explaining it, but I don't know how to explain it any other way. But here's like the big tip right here. Once you braid down to your ear, like once you get to like, let's say behind your ear, you want to flip your hair back, and you're going to readjust your hands. So I'll show you that here in a second. So I'm just braiding and now flipping my hair to prepare myself to rotate my hands. This is like a big thing right here. So once you feel comfortable with your braid, you're going to kind of, I don't know how to explain it. You saw my hands. They're now switched back. So I'm braiding behind my head now, and because my hands were in front of my face to begin with. So now I've rotated my hands, so now they're behind my head, and I'm going to finish off the braid. I'm really bad at explaining things. So now that we are behind the head now, it's kind of the same thing. So the right side, the one that's closest to my face, I guess, like the front side of my face, we're grabbing hair near the nape of our neck, and the top side or the left side of the braid, we're grabbing from the opposite side. So that way it drags it nicely to create this like circle around our head. So now at this point I have all of my hair gathered into the braid, so I'm just going to finish it off as a regular 3-strand braid. So we're gonna turn back to the front again, and this part is just easy. Regular 3-strand braid all the way down to as far as you can go on your hair. And before I work on the tail part of this braid, I'm going to just loosen up the braid that's around the top of my head like this, just to even it out, to give it some fullness and volume, which I really like with these kind of Dutch braids. You can make them kind of like pancake them or pull them apart so they're nice and fat. I love a good fat braid. And you don't really have to worry about it with the bottom end, because you're gonna see we're gonna try and tuck it away. So I've pulled out, I've fattened the braid in that area, so I'm pulling the braid around, and we're going to kind of hide that tail under the Dutch part, the Dutch braid. Like, we're gonna hide that underneath. And it's easiest if you kind of bobby pin all the way up, so it's really secure. And once you have it bobby pinned, I like to kind of pull my Dutch braid up a little more to kind of hide the bobby pins and hide where the braid ends, you know? So then we have this little crown. As always, I'm going to pull some hair to frame my face, little baby hairs. If you don't have them, you don't have to do this part, or if you don't like this, you don't have to do that part. But that is it for hairstyle number 2. I am so excited my hair is long enough to finally be doing this hairstyle again, because it's one of my favorites. So now we're here to hairstyle number 3, and we're going to do a center part for this hairstyle. And this hairstyle I think looks best when you have some texture to your hair. This is just my natural texture. If you want to do like some waves or curls, I think it would be so pretty with this hairstyle. So I'm going to grab a small section from like starting at my ear to the top of my head. Not very thick, just a small section like this. And I'm going to tie it with a small hair elastic, like so. And just like the first hairstyle that we did where we were doing those like topsy-turvy ponytails, we're kind of doing the same thing. So I'm going to create a little hole at the top and then flip the little ponytail inside it and pull it out like so. I'm going to, as always, kind of adjust, pull out some hairs to give it some thickness and volume. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the next side. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like tying the hair elastic kind of away. It's not like super tight. That way it makes it easier to do that little loop topsy-turvy thing that we do. So there's a little tip when you're trying to recreate this hairstyle. So I'm just going to flip that up and pull it through like so, and just adjust and tighten it as need be. And now you really could just leave the hairstyle like this because I think it's really cute. But we're gonna take it one more step, so we're gonna turn around for this one. I'm going to take another section right underneath both of those, right here in the center, and basically do the exact same thing. So tie it with another little hair elastic, and again, tie it kind of like not tight to your head, kind of pull it away and have the hair elastic be a little further out, so that way you have enough space to make that little hole and then twist your ponytail into it. And ta-da, that is it for this third hairstyle. I don't know what it is about this one, but it feels very romantic, kind of almost even medieval. I know that probably sounded random, but it just feels very like old, timeless, and romantic. So now moving on to this fourth hairstyle, we're going to brush all our hair to one side again, and we're going to do another braid, another Dutch braid, but instead of it going around and wrapping around our head like the previous one, we're going to do a braid that's just on one side. Can you tell my voice is getting like really tired? Because I'm filming this voiceover really late at night, so my voice is like going in and out. But I'm going to do a Dutch braid very similar to that first braided hairstyle that we did, the second hairstyle. So basically copying that part like to start off with, but I don't know how to explain this properly, but in the previous braided hairstyle, I was grabbing hair just from the back, but this one we're grabbing from like the complete opposite side. So the way we grab the section on the left side is kind of different than the first braid we did, because again, I'm grabbing from literally the opposite end of my hair and bringing it around. So that way, when we do get to like our ear, we have kind of majority of all of our hair kind of incorporated into this braid, if that makes sense. How in the other one, I kind of left it out so we can continue the braid around our head. Ugh, I know that probably makes zero sense, but the way we grab the sections in this braid is very different. So see how we have all of the hair incorporated into the braid now, whereas like when we were at this part in the previous braid, we still had a bunch of hair left out. So there's like the big difference, and that's how you keep this braid just on one side like this. So now I'm just gonna finish off with a regular 3-strand braid. Simple, but that was it for this particular hairstyle. I did do it a little bit messy in the back and I didn't notice it, so it normally doesn't look like that, okay? It normally doesn't look like that, but practice, play around. Practice does make progress with this, like these braided hairstyles. So if you try it out and you don't get it right, don't be discouraged, because I was the exact same way. And even like growing my hair long again, I was very new to braiding my hair and it felt very foreign. So you just gotta practice with it. I promise you'll get better. And you can already see that the braid is pretty full, to be honest. Like it's a very full braid, but it's just the top that I need to work on. So I'm going to kind of, you know, pull it apart here at the top of my head to give it more volume, so it kind of just looks full evenly all the way throughout the braid. And then of course pulling out some hair to frame my face, and that is it for this hairstyle. I think this one is my favorite. I know I did it a little messy, but I think this one is my favorite. I love this braid. I know a lot of times when people recreate my hairstyling videos, they get really discouraged when they don't get it right the first time, but I just want to encourage you to really just practice, give it a couple more tries, because I promise you'll get it. So that is it for this video. Let me know which hairstyle did you like best, number 1, number 2, or number 3, or number 4. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!